What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Hogwarts Legacy selling like hotcakes. This is a feel-good kind of story. These are stories that I like to put on the channel, right? Because I've constantly been saying that this game is going to sell outrageously well, and actually, this comes at a very good time because over the weekend, there was somewhat of a campaign to boycott, right? The boycotting Hogwarts Legacy movement kind of came back. It was a lot of people that, live literally with their parents, probably in their basements, have no jobs, have no money, and we saw quite a few people liking it, a lot of Twitter people, which again is not necessarily based on reality. And this is, again, I think a good counter to that. When you have all these people saying, boycott the game, you're going to be supporting this, or that. If you buy the game, we're all evil people. And I guess there's millions upon millions of evil people. But you look at two different things I want to talk about today. First up is Steam. Now, Steam is a little odd when it comes to kind of like ranking things. But when it comes to wish lists, top wish lists, popular wish listed games, Hogwarts is on there. I believe it's 5th on the list. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily in order, but it's within like the top 10, and I do think it kind of is in order. Once you get past that, it's like, okay, well, these games aren't necessarily as popular. So even on Steam, you look at The Day Before, which is a game that, a lot of people are into, and it may or may never actually come out. Hollow Knight Silksong, that's a very popular one. Starfield. So you got some absolute giants there, and actually all three of those you don't know the release date of. And then you have Hogwarts Legacy again at 5. So very, very high up there for a game that, is coming out a while away, and that's a theme I want to keep because let's look at PlayStation, all right? Two interesting things with PlayStation. Number one, it's the Deluxe Edition bundle that is the higher one. So this one is literally rated based off of best-selling. You can see in the top corner, sort by best-selling. It's number 2 after Destiny 2 Lightfall, which just kind of happened, right? And you look through this, well, number 1, the Deluxe Edition is 2nd on the list, which is incredible. And Hogwarts Legacy, the normal, one, is 10th on the list. Not only is it 10th, though, it's one behind God of War's Deluxe Edition. And the Deluxe Edition for Hogwarts is multiple ahead of God of War Ragnarok. You even have, you look at the middle of the road ones in between God of War and Hogwarts, it's like the NBAs, or in this case, 2K23, FIFAs, right? Modern Warfare, Call of Duty. So I guess what I'm trying to get at, and you keep going, you can see the rest of it. You have The Last of Us, a big game. You got God of War, the normal edition, which would be 15th on the list. NHL is there. So what I'm kind of getting at here is, well, number 1, this game is doing really well. It's doing really well for a game that's not coming out this year, right? What's the theme here with a lot of these? God of War comes out in November. The Last of Us comes out this Friday, right? Even NHL, you can see NHL there. That comes out in October. Modern Warfare comes out at the end of October. So these are all very new games, and they're selling well, as they hopefully should be, right? You'd want them to sell well. Hogwarts doesn't come out for another 5 months, and it's on this list already. Now, maybe it drops back, but you got to imagine as it gets closer, because the theme here is kind of closeness, right? As it gets closer, The Last of Us is 12th on the list. It's actually 11 and 12, right? So, you'd expect as it gets closer to, the end of January, you'd expect Dead Space on here. You'd expect Forspoken would probably make an appearance, but you'd also probably expect Hogwarts to stay in a top 15-ish range for the foreseeable future until the game comes out. That's incredible. The other thing, obviously, and as I was focusing on earlier, it's the Deluxe Edition. Now, that's not necessarily, because again, like the other examples are kind of, there are a couple others. FIFA is there. The FIFA Deluxe, or the Ultimate Edition, is the higher one. The $150, I don't know why people are doing that, but $150 2K23. I think the normal one is down there. It's at like 14th. You got God of War Ragnarok's Deluxe Edition being higher, much higher than the normal edition. So it's clear a couple different things. It's clear people want that, in my belief, 72-hour early access. That's why people are buying the extra $10, right? Because you get other stuff, but let's be real. What's the main reason everybody's choosing this $10 more edition? It's to play the game 3 days early, which is both brilliant and a little scummy. I want to get this controversial opinion out of I'm not calling them like the scum of the earth. It was kind of a joke. I do want to get this controversial opinion out of my head. I'm normally, and I guess I still am, I'm not really a fan of the whole 72-hour early access because it says a couple different things. Number one, it says that the game could have released 3 days early and they're choosing not to, right? The game could come out on the Tuesday, but instead they're basically gatekeeping it, and they're saying if you pay us $10 extra, you can play the game then, and then if you don't, well, we're going to give the game out to everybody else, 3 days after. So it's a brilliant marketing thing. It's so smart because obviously it's working, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to make them an insane amount of money simply for the fact that they're unlocking and again, yes, it comes with other stuff, but let's be real. If it just came with that other stuff, I guarantee you wouldn't do as well. The 72-hour early access is the main push behind the Deluxe edition. So, again, it's a brilliant move, and it's going to sell well, and it's going to probably sell more than most games' Deluxe editions, but it is a bit scummy because ultimately it's like, well, the game could have just released for everybody that day. Maybe it even could have released 3 days earlier still. I mean, that would put it on like a Saturday night. You know what I mean? Like, it could have done it, but instead they're saying, well, we'll take the extra $10, please. Now, who makes that decision? I don't necessarily know, but it's great. It's great. So, again, this is a feel-good story. I mean, I like to see Hogwarts basically, as we can kind of tell, dominating like the market. And I think it'll stay this way for the foreseeable future. There's really not that many other games. Like, what's odd is like Gotham Knights isn't on this list, right? There's a couple big, I guess Callisto Protocol isn't on this list. Maybe they don't count yet. Maybe they're not in the right category. Maybe they can only be wishlisted still. There could be other reasons, but it's great to see Hogwarts doing this. And again, it's great to see Hogwarts doing this when you have this hate campaign. And it's a hate campaign because they hate us, right? If you get the game, we're the enemy, we're evil on Twitter, and maybe just on Twitter. There's a little bit on YouTube and obviously game journalists, but they all live on Twitter. So it's good to see that while people are crying and complaining about all the evil people are going to be putting out into the world by buying this game, which I guess is a lot of it, at the same time, and this is the reason why, by the way, I'm so combative on these people, and I did like the tweet I did over the weekend mocking these people. It's because it's all fake. These are all fake. I mean, getting 70K likes, at the end of the day, I think a lot of those are bots. I think a lot of those people would never get the game in the first place, right? They're people that just have a lot to say, but they don't actually do anything in life. And then ultimately, when you look at who's actually putting the money down, well, the game's doing insane. It's doing better than most other games. So what are we left with, right? We're left with people just complaining on Twitter, while the people that actually put their money where their mouth is, they're buying the game. They don't care. They don't care about what a Twitter person with 1,000 followers say, or even a couple, Twitter people. Who cares? Who cares? So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, so you know when all these videos go up. If you want to follow or support me anywhere else, all my social media links are in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.